Theatrical Outreaches program for fall software.
Before we get started, we just have a few content warnings. This show deals with themes of homicide, infanticide, regicide, suicide, and just a lot of asides in general in Shakespeare.
On a more serious note, there will be simulated gunshot noises as well as fake blood in this production.
Two more things. Actors will be using the aisle, so please do not go down it unless it's an absolute emergency. And also, please return your programs at the end of the show. We have a very limited number of those.
Finally, this production runs 90 minutes with a 10-minute intermission. So without further ado, Macbeth. Woo!
Thank you very much.
When shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurling burns dead, when the battle's lost and won.
Well, now will the air the setting sun. Where the place?
Upon me,
There to meet with
Macbeth.
I come, grey malkin.
Paddock calls.
And on. Fair is foul and foul is fair.
Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report us, see what by his bloody plight of the revolt the new estate.
This is the sergeant too, like a good and hearty soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood the merciless Macdonald worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of currans and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling showed like a rebel's horde. But all's too weak, for brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops and fixed his head upon our battles.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
But the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report that they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell, but I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
When a haze looks through his eyes, so should he look to seem to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
Oh, from Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness. No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his death, and with his formal title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine!
The earth time. Look what I have.
Show me! Show me!
Here I have a pilot's thumb, racked as homeward feet and tongue. A drunk, Macbeth doth come. The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about and rout, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9.
Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called Fordham? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it? Live you? Are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things which do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical? Or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and royal hope and wrath withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me. Neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail.
Hail.
Hail. Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Simon's death, I know that I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman. To be king stands out within the prospect of belief no more than to be Cawdor. Speak, I charge you.
Whither are they vanished?
But that they had stayed.
Are such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root which takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
Thane of Cawdor too, but did not so.
The self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads of thy adventures in the line of the rebels, he would bade me for an earnest of a greater honor, call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which edition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thy.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the help with hidden help advantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor both. The greatest is behind. Thank you for your pains. Do you not hope, sir, that your children shall be kings when those that gave Thane of Cawdor to me promised the like to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange. And oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousin, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues of the swelling act in the imperial theme. The supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why have they given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart beat at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man. That function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, then chance may crown me, without my stir.
New honors come upon him in our strange garments. Cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use. Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough. Come, friends.
Is the execution done on Cawdor? Are those in commission not yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but
I have spoken with one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death. To throw away the dearest thing he noticed were a careless trifle.
There's no art to see the mind's construction in the face. He was a dear gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before the swiftest ring of recompense is slow to overtake thee. What thou hast less deserved, but the payment and thanks would have been mine. All I have left to say is,
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
more is I do than more than all can pay. Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee and will labor to make thee full of growth. Noble Banquo, thou art no less deserved, or must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seem to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Thanes, kinsmen, those whose places are near, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, from here to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife at your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
Prince of Cumberland. Now that is a step on which I must fall down or else sorely, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my deep and dark desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he full is so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned the desire to question them further, they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me with, Hail, King that shalt be. This I have thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatest life.
Glamorous thou art, Cawdor, and shalt be all that thou art promised. Yet I do fear thy nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wast to be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou magistrate, is not thy master with him, who word so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows at the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely many that would pick up his message.
Give him tended. He brings great news. Oh, the raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan unto my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. May make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the fact and it. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great glamorous worthy Cawdor, greater than both mighty all hail hereafter. Letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel at once the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
When goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my fame, is as a book, where men may read strange matters, to beguile the the time look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall, to all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and mastery.
We shall speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. See, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which we still thank as love. Here and I shall teach you how you bid God yield us for your pains, thank us for your pleasures.
All our service in every point twice done and done double were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as a spur, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Oh, your servants ever have theirs themselves in what is theirs in comp to make their audit of your highness's pleasure, still to return their own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces toward him. By your leave, hostess. Onward, lusty gentlemen!
If it were done when it is done, it were well it were done quickly. If the assassination could tram up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow would be the be-all and end-all here. But here, on this bank control of time, we jump the life to come. In these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions that, being taught, we turn to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice will commend the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. It's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues would plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity. Like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, that they would blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears should drown the wind. No spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which falls over itself and leaps on the other. How now? What news?
He has almost stopped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people that would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own valor, and act as thou art in desire? Would thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat to the adage?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dare does more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. To be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time, nor place to fit it here, yet you would make both. They have made themselves, that their fitness now does unmake you. suck and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I sworn as you had done to this!
If we should fail.
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, or truth rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason limbic only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as in death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for they undaunted metals should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received that when we have marked with blood these sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive another, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How's the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. But who's there?
A friend.
But, sir, not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and set forth great largess to your offices.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, or else should free of rot.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have shown some truth.
I think not of them, yet when we could entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you should grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you cleave to my consent, when 'tis, we'll make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of present brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes were made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade indulge in gouts of blood, which was not so before. Still such thing. It is the bloody business which informs us to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Thou sure and firm said earth, hear not my footsteps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts. And take the present horror from the time which shoots now with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of breath too cold death gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. 'Twas the owl that shrieked, bloody kinsman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and surfeited rooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What?
Oh, alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, it is not done. Attempting not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss them. For had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. Oh, my husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise?
When I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry, didst you not speak?
When?
Now.
Was I descend?
I.
Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers again and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One said, God bless us, and amen the other. I stood there with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of amen, and it was stuck in my throat. Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep, the innocent sleep, the raveled up sleeve of care, death of each day's life, sore labor's bath balm of hurt minds, second nature's great course, chief nourisher in life's being.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Clamorous hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways. So it will make us mad. Who was it that thus cried? My worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why have you taken the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I've done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Firm purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem very guilty.
Whence is that knock? How is it when every noise appalls me? What are these hands? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash clean this blood from my hands? No. But rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, though I shamed were a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south gate. Retire we to our chamber. A little water prepares us for this deed. How easy it is, then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking. Get your nightgown on, lest occasion call us and show us to be watching. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, to best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would, how could.
Our knocking is awake. Here he comes. Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
You did command me to call timely upon him, and I have almost slipped the hour.
Well, I will bring you to him.
I know this is a pleasant trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pain. Here's the door.
I'll make so bold to call. Is my limited service. Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint, sir.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart can conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you mean, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Enter the chamber and destroy your sight with the new Gorgon. Bid me not speak. See, and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Shake off this damning sleep death counterfeit and look on death itself! Up! Up! And see the great tomb's image! Ring the bell!
What's
trumpet comes to parley the sleepers of the house. Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition on a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered.
Well, alas, what in our house? Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived to blessed time. For now there's nothing serious in mortality. Renown and grace is dead. All is but toys. The wine of life is drawn. The mere least has left this vault to brag of.
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all bad with blood. So were their daggers, which we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood. His trenchant stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. And there the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and courage in his heart to make love known?
Help me, and so.
Look to the lady. Let us put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Why do you hold our tongues that most make things an argument for ours?
What should be spoken here when our fate hidden in an auger hole yet may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrows form a fit of motion. What will you do? Well, let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow as an office which the false man does easy. I'll take it.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortunes will keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and the safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse, let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft, which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
See you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth has slain.
Last the day. What good could they pretend?
They were summoned. The king's two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, are stolen away in flight, which puts upon them the suspicion of the deed.
It's nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own lives means. Then, 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already named, and under scum to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Culloch, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors, guardian of their bones.
Will you to Skull?
No cousin ought to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there? Do. Lest our old robe sit easier than our new.
Farewell.
Thou hast it now, King Cawdor Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. But it was said, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, set me up in hope. But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing under sun.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I will request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to thee which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, though it hath been both grave and prosperous in today's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I may become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
We'll fail not our feet.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that, tomorrow, when we shall have cause of state craving us joy. Hi, use your horse. Adieu till you return at night. Goes Leonce.
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
Well, I wish your horses sure and swift of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Sirrah, a word. Attend those men, our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
We'll bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which will be feared. But 'tis much he dares. To that dauntless temper of his mind he hath the wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. He chid the sisters when first they'd put the name of king upon me, and then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched by an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them I have murdered the gracious Duncan, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them. And mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man, that they may be kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Was it not yesterday that we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Have you considered of my speeches? Know you that it was he in times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self? This I made clear to you in our last conference. Passed in probation to you how you were born in hand, how crossed the instruments that wrought with them. And to all things else, half a notion into a soul crazed, say, thus did Banquo?
You made it known to us.
Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel as to pray for this man and his issue, whose heavy hand have bowed you to the grave and beggar doors forever?
We are men, my liege.
I am one whom the vile blows and buffets of the world had so incensed that I would do anything to spite this reckless world.
And I another. So weary with disaster, so tugged with fortune that I would set my life on any chance to mend or be rid on it.
Both of you know that Banquo is your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could, with such barefaced power, sweep him from my sight, yet I must not. For there are certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I must not drop, that but wail at his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is to your assistance that I do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We will perform as you have commanded, my lord.
Your spirits shine through me. I will come to you within this hour at most. Advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight. And with him, Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material than is his father's, who must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll meet with you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight. If you find heaven, you must find it out tonight.
Naughts had, all spent, where our desires got without content. It's better to be that which we destroy, by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Goes Banquo from court?
Aye, but returns again tonight.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions make. You think those thoughts which should indeed have died with them, they think on. Things without, all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be her former self, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, and both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meals in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better to be with the dead whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than to lie in the restless ecstasy of the mind. Duncan sleeps well. After life's fitful fever, he rests in his grave. Treason has done his worst, nor steel nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Present Banquo, eminence, both in eye and tongue tonight. Unsafe the while, we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces visitors to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his flea on slaves.
But in them nature's copies, not eternal.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocular. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the short-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath roamed night's yawning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, and scarf up the tender sigh of day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. The crow makes wing to the rocky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, yet be thou still. Bad things begun make themselves strong by ill. So prithee come with me.
But who did really join with us?
Macbeth!
He means not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just. Then stand with us. Near approaches the subject of our watch.
I hear horses.
Give us the light there, ho! What do you see? The rest that are within the note of expectation already in the course.
Almost a mile. Putting to so all men usually do from thence to the palace gate maketh their walk. To thee!
Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Fleance, fly